I tell you what, boys, if I died tomorrow, I would not be able to bitch about the life that played out for me. There's a view, isn't it? Seen this view before, a while ago. See that line in the grass down there? That's a old road that's been closed off for years and years and years. Been on my bucket list to hike down that road someday, and I'm starting to run out of time here, so I figured I'd go ahead and get out here today and check it off the list. So that's what we're going to be doing out here today, just hiking that old stone road. See what's out there. Gotta admit, it's kind of a broody day out here today. About 30 degrees. Perfect walking weather. At least that's all we're gonna be doing today, is going for a walk. This past week we managed to wrap up our recap series of videos that were kind of looking back of the last two channels, the Journey Book and then the Huntsman series that followed it, and that leads us into the Secret Life of Roses channel, which is coming up March 20th. If you haven't gone over there to subscribe, make sure you go over there and do that. But I thought it was important to kind of give some context and scope to the complete story arc instead of just the Huntsman channel. So I come up with this idea of going back and grabbing some of that old footage and sort of making those recap videos, the music videos, and looking back on some of the things that I've done and seen and places I've been, and the story arc all the way through up until this point. And that last one we dropped, I think it had a little bit of a misleading title because it was the last time that we were going to look back at that old footage. It was the end of the set that I had set up for like the recap and the scope, and just kind of contextualizing how big this story is and how many years have played out on it. A lot of great memories, and it was nice actually going down memory lane. And this hike that I have here today is kind of a metaphor of that. We got this forgotten road, this broken, forgotten road, and I don't know what's down there anymore. The last time I was down this road, it was still open, and I was just a little kid. So there's this constant metaphor of fragments of the past, I guess, has been popping up. But like I said, I'm running out of time here. I'm about to move out of the area to focus on Secret Life. We're going to be going back to the Emerald Forest and rebuilding the cottage. We'll do that right here on this channel, but some of that content plays out on the other channel, so you got that bridge between the two. But I feel this clock ticking now, especially just, you know, like a little over a month and a half away from the new series starting, and me leaving my childhood home, which is this area, and going off to live someplace that I've never lived before, and, you know, starting off this whole new life journey with this new content and a new channel and new. And with all of that new coming, I've been spending quite a bit of time over the past year, really, looking back on some of the old. It's like, watch where you're going, but remember where you've been. Yeah. I tell you what, boys, if I died tomorrow, I would not be able to bitch about the life that played out for me. Anyway, as I was saying there, see that line down there in the grass right here? Cutting right through there, there's the old road. We're gonna head down that way. We're gonna hike it off to the west. Nice day out here. It's a little broody. But that's all right. We just want to get out and stretch our legs today anyway. Go down the old, literally an old memory lane. It's a nice setting. We've seen this setting before. We actually night hiked through this area. I was sitting right here at this very spot, looking out that way around sunset one night. And then we headed down past the pond here. We headed back that way, and we started heading off to the west. We thought we was heading west, but somewhere in that woods there, we got turned around, you know, just completely fucking lost. Ended up, instead of going west, we ended up all the fuck the way over there to the east. When I came out of the woods, I came out in this open field up here, and it was pitch black out by then, and I had to try to find my truck in all of the black. That was a good time. Good times. I also got a piece of driftwood out of this pond right here. It's sitting in the gardens now. Good times. Anyway, we hike in a different direction today. Want to get out and about. We got a round of weather coming in, expected to come in this weekend. We're expecting kind of an ice storm to come in, some snow and ice mix. So today was kind of my last opportunity to get out here and take this hike. And like I said, I'm running out of time in the area, so we just gonna go ahead and check this hike off the list. Let's get down there, start down the old stone road. Never did learn why they closed this road off. You can drive in here, but it stops right here at this gate. There's a road I came in on. This is a public hunting land for the most part, but it's also a state wildlife refuge. So there are parts of this where it's public hunting and parts of it where it's called red zone. It's kind of like federal land, untouched land, beautiful virgin forest, meant for wildlife conservation. So that's the area we're in today. Gate starts here, old road's here. We're gonna head down that way, and I don't know what the hell is out here. I honestly don't. You can barely make out some of the old stone. Nature's sort of reclaiming it all, and it didn't take it long for it to happen either. So we just gonna hike this nice, it used to be paved path today, just to see what's out there on the horizon. Man, ain't much to it. I've been walking, I don't know, I'm about halfway down it now from where I came in at. We got one gate back there and then one gate up here. So it looks like they just closed off this like country mile segment of the road. Probably a conservation effort, kind of cut down the traffic coming through this area. And it just ain't much to it. Like from back there on the hill where we started out at, you really can't make out this other gate down here. So yeah, it's just, I wanted to hike this stretch, and I don't know why. I just felt like coming out here and walking it sometime. You couldn't drive down it. It's just foot traffic only. And I'm like, well, why? And I come out here and it's just this. Ain't nothing fancy about it. It's just this country mile that they closed off and let nature take it back over. From the looks of things, you can still see tracks in the grass. I think the Department of Natural Resources might still be using it as an access way, but other than that, it's just an old road that they let go. At least a stretch of it that they let go. Not much to it at all. So there's no dramatic find. There's no nothing out here. There's just see a handful of rocks every once in a while from where the old stone road ain't completely covered yet. But other than that, it's just grasslands. Kind of anticlimactic. Not really disappointed. I mean, for some reason I just had it in my head, maybe you should just walk that trail sometime. So I come out here to walk the trail. Wanted to get out of the house before this next round of cold came in and just get some fresh air, and that's all I'm doing. Nice view of the grasslands. It's quiet. Cold as shit, but quiet. Most of this walk, yeah, you can see how far I come. You can't really make out the gate back there, and it's getting a little darker now. Most of this walk I didn't even film. I just went on this kind of inside my head walk. Not a bad thing. Been inside my head a lot lately. I just wanted to get this walk in before I run out of time here and I have to move on. Kind of not really a bucket list item. I don't even have a bucket yet. But for a while now, it's been in my head to walk this trail. So I came out to walk the trail, and that's that. And there's just nothing here. And if I think about it, like meditate on it, there's probably a lesson in that. Maybe this sort of goes back to that notion that I was having of stop looking down the path to the past. Stop looking back at the old content and the old adventures and start focusing on what's ahead. And this trail is a road that, like, time forgot. And there was a lot of that content that came up in those recap videos and those flashback videos that I had forgotten about. But I put out, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. I can't even remember how many of them rolled out. And it was just to give scope of the story, kind of connect the first 2 channels leading into the third, give some context, and then it was time to just let all that go. And I remember that, I don't know who made the comment on the video or in one of the shorts, but I remember my response was, it doesn't matter what you've done, all that matters is what you're going to do next. And that's kind of stuck with me. And then I just get it in my head, I wanted to walk down this old road just to get it in before I run out of time here. So I come out here to do this, and there's nothing down this old road. And I think that's kind of parallel to what I was thinking with that idea, the flashbacks videos and the contextual videos of, you can look back on it and you can go down memory lane, but you're not going to find what you're looking for back there. And I come out here to this old road, and I had it in my mind, I wanted to go down this old road, and the same lesson applies, is you're not going to find anything there. It's just an old road. You can look back on it. I mean, there's a memory here, but the memory's been buried by something else. You know, sort of nature sort of took it all back. I guess I'm trying to settle up with that. So now we're coming up to it, the second gate. Walk from one gate to the other, and lesson still applies. There's an old road out there, and it's like this, it had this dystopian feel to it, like it's just this broken stretch of road, you know. And you don't know what you'd find down an old road. Somebody dumped something off along the side or something like that, and you find this old relic of when humans used to come up and down it every day, and there's just nothing out here. Now I'm coming up to the second gate, which is the crossroads, and I'm thinking how they got this laid out right now is the north-south running roads are still up and running, but this one stretch running east to west is closed off in segments. So they give you a little bit of access, like a parking area at the end of each one. And that's probably for the hunters that come out here rabbit hunting and pheasant hunting and deer hunting and all that, just so they have a place to park. And then you got those north-south roads for access into the overall area, but the in-betweens are just shut down like this, you know. Not a bad layout for the hunting community, and this is just primarily hunting land, so I guess it works. Yeah, coming up to the end of it. A 1 mile walk. It's gonna be 2 miles by the time I get up here and turn around and go back the other way, but another repeat of that same old lesson that I mentioned. You can go down these old roads, but there ain't nothing down them. I go up here, look at the crossroads. Got a little creek running through here. Very swampy area out here. It's all old marshland. It drains fairly decent now. I mean, they put these ditches in, God knows how many years ago, to sort of drain the land, but back in the old days, this was just swamp. Soil out here, black as coal. I guess that's why they set it aside. Didn't make for good farming or building on, really. At least not back then. And they just took this swamp and let it grow up into hunting land. We are on public. It looks like we got public on all 4 sides of us now. You see it with these yellow wildlife signs that we have up here. And I don't know if these are common for other states or not, but whenever you're out on public, you have these yellow signs for public hunting and fishing, hiking through, doing your whole bit. And then you have red signs that tell you not to go the fuck into it. You're not even allowed to step across the ditch. And then we have the other old stone crossroad. I've been down this road before. Yeah, I've been down this road before. Stone road both ways. And you see the trees, how the trees are? It's very swampy looking, like all dead, and you know, you can tell there's a lot of water in the ground. Yeah, another parking area up there, and it looks like red zone on the other side of it, if I'm thinking right. We got yellow on both sides, but we got red up there. Maybe it's just no vehicle signs going through there, but it's another stretch of the same old road. And like I said, it's like every mile we got a crossroads like this here, and then you have a little bit of an inlet for a parking area, so you have access to it. You can get off the crossroad and park and then hike in. And it looks like this next stretch is the same as the last. It's just another segment going down about a mile to the next road that crosses through, and probably another stretch just like this with a little bit of an access point, and you can hike in and out from there. It's almost like trailheads without there being a trail. That kind of setup. I want to go up here and check these signs out, see if this is the limit. I don't think that it is. I think this is just no vehicles beyond this point shit. Yeah, that's all it is. So yeah, it's the same. It's just a repeat of the last. A little bit woodier area out there, not so much of the grasslands. Looks like we got grasslands on the north side, woods on the south. Well, yeah, this is just the next leg of the journey. We ain't hiking to the next road. So we got this wooded area over here, and then over on this other side, it kind of opens up a little bit. See what I'm saying? So you can probably go deer hunting on that side, pheasant, and maybe quail hunting, rabbit hunting on this other side in the grassy area. And just like before, you got this little parking lot. You know, you're coming off the crossroads, you got a little area where you can park, and then you just walk the rest of the way. That area right there is all swamp. You can see how it drops down a little bit. I hiked through this swamp last spring. It was beautiful in the spring. Real mossy, you know, that very swampy, mossy growing, you know, going everywhere, and all these greens and black water, that kind of shit. But yep, marshland. That's all that is out there. This might be the remnants of an old pond. It looks like how I feel about it, like just topographically. We got the, you see the bank here? And it's sort of this circular bank. It goes both ways. And then you got this low-lying area. I think this might have been an old pond that just kind of grew up into a swamp. That would explain some shit. Anticlimactic. It's fine. I think I gotten to the point, I think I mentioned this before too. I gotten to the point where winter comes around, I like staying home and kind of hibernating for the winter. I really did that this year. Got out a few times. Most of the time I wasn't on video, but I just need to, you know, get out or I get cabin fever. So I got to come out here every once in a while, or I'd start going a little stir crazy. But yeah, this winter it was different than whenever I was up in the valley. This winter it wasn't about being out in the woods or building a shelter. I mean, we did get some of the new hedge camp set up. I've been working on that project whenever I get bored, but for the most part I just kind of stayed by my fireplace reading old books, and I don't feel bad about that. It kind of, I guess I spent the winter switching gears as far as content that I'm taking in. The people that I actually watch on YouTube, and I've been to watch a few of them. I'm gonna be talking about those creators on my Patreon coming up, because I think others would be interested in the type of content that I've been watching too, especially if you like the outdoors content and the historical context of the outdoors content. I got a new spin on that, and we'll introduce some of that content over there on Patreon so you can read about it. I did spend a lot of time on Patreon too. Rather than filming, I did the whole writing thing. We dropped some photo dumps over there, and I tried to write every day. And some of those articles are pretty lengthy, but I went from filming to writing. And it's important that I get that content done too, because all of that material, it's just like here on YouTube, you can go back to your past videos and sort of recycle them into new YouTube shorts and get a new audience for that, for the old content, you know. And you see that. Oh, there's some snow geese. See them? Just a blip. Big old white snow geese. What I was saying there, you could take your older videos and you sort of comb through them and find one-liners or a memory or something like that, and kind of throw it up into the shorts feed. And it just, you know, my shorts feed, if you look at my shorts feed, it's not to attract a new audience or to raise views or anything like that. It's kind of like a scrapbook of the channel. And I wanted to lay it out that way too, where if you look at the page itself, as you're looking through there, you don't even have to click on the short to remember where it was at and what was going on. So it's kind of like an online photo album with animated photos. That's how I looked at it anyway. It was just a scrapbook. I look at my short feed as a scrapbook. But anyway, whenever it comes to the writing content, it takes a little bit of time to write those articles, but whenever Secret Life launches, all of that written content comes into play on other websites. So I write it for Patreon, and it's sort of stored on Patreon, but whenever it comes to the content package of Secret Life as it rolls out over the course of the first year, the articles that are over there on Patreon are going to get published on a dozen other websites at the same time the content's being released. So it applies because it increases the discoverability of the channel. The other thing that I had going on is we post a lot of mixed bag content over on the Book of Huntsman Facebook page. Well, 2 days ago, we had a particular post over there that went viral and got, I think it's pushing 2 million views right now. And the interactions on this one post, it was a silly ass post, but the interactions are insane. And it just went fucking viral. And we're getting all of these new people on the page, and they're coming over to the Secret Life page because all of the Secret Life content's on there. So it's kind of like this content lottery. We throw up this mixed bag of shit, and if just one piece hits, it changes the game for everything. So the lesson that we got out of this one piece of viral content that got so many shares, it's got over 1,000 shares, 2 million views, over 1,000 shares, that is bringing all these new people to the page that have never seen the page or been introduced to any Huntsman content before. So we're having this whole fucking flood of new people come in off of one meme, and now we're trying to capitalize on that momentum. So you're going to see a lot more activity over there on the Book of Huntsman Facebook page. Not the Backwoods Brotherhood group, but the Facebook page, just because we have this viral meme that's out there right now, and we're trying to capitalize on that and introduce all these new folks to some of the old content and some of what we got coming up. Some of them have already went to Secret Life, which is cool as fuck. Woo! Winds from the east. Walking into it now. There ain't nothing to see out here. I kept the camera on me for a little bit. Still walking away from that last gate. Heading back towards where I parked the truck. I'm gonna have somebody saying, Steve, that was a lazy ass fucking hike. That was stupid and pointless. And I had somebody thinking that. Like, this motherfucker outside, but he just on this old road. There's a point there. There's a point to it. And I don't think the point was for you guys. I think it was for me. Going back to what I was saying there earlier in the video, you can go down memory lane, but there ain't nothing down there. And this is, I guess, repeating that lesson to me. I just had this urge, and it was just bothering me. It was literally bothering me. Like, I always wanted to walk this stretch, but for whatever reason, I just never did. And then I'm finally like, you know what? I'm just going to go do it, because I feel this clock ticking in my head that I'm going to be leaving the area soon to go off on this whole new adventure. And I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to get this out of my system. So today, in spite of the dreary ass, melancholy, overcast day and the chill in the air, I came out here just to follow that instinct of walking it and learn the same lesson that I learned from the content that I was making for the channel. You go down memory lane, but there ain't nothing there. I did get some very, very nice feedback for the last of the recap videos. I put some time into that one. It was my first time using the effects and the lighting and sort of putting it into this timeless feel. It was my first time switching up the content from live streams or I don't know, your basic minimal effort YouTube edit. It was my first time using grading and experimenting around with the layout that we'll be using for Secret Life. Now, the Secret Life's not going to be filmed like the old film footage, that speckled film effect. That was just for that particular video where it's sort of this flashback memory lane thing. Anyway, I did get some wonderful feedback on that video, and viewers were letting me know how it was emotional for them to watch it. And that meant a lot to me because it was emotional for me to edit it. And I guess I'm having a hard time putting into words like the process that I'm going through now. And that I don't want to give too much of what Secret Life really is away just yet. But it's got that power to it, and that that emotional touch to it. It's not wilderness prick waving, you know what I mean? It's not this toxic masculinity, macho man, you know, roughneck out in the woods bullshit. It's more poetic. And I think that came across in that video, I guess. It's I don't know, it's just this mixed bag of emotions that's just hard to put in the words. But if you watch that video, I think it's something you have to see to understand. It's not something you talk about, it's just something you know. But anyway, I was happy to receive the feedback that I did for that particular video, and people let me know how it hit them emotionally, because whenever it came to Huntsman content, it was kind of like an adrenaline rush thrill ride, like, and that was great, because you want to make your audience feel something sometimes. And whenever I was making the Huntsman series, that's what it was really all about, is I wanted to tap into this untapped side of human nature of, let's just go out there, race hell, have a good time, cut loose, and screw all of it, you know. And it was this very high energy, adrenaline, trash talking, kind of therapeutic thing. And then you look at the Journey book, the channel that came before this one, and you look at the memory lane that created this therapeutic formula, and it's very, very different. It's kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum for the vibe of the content. It's very poetic and philosophical with romantic notes and love and loss and things that people experience all the time, things that people can relate to all the time. And whenever it comes to us guys, we really don't talk about that shit. So whenever you find somebody who is willing to take you there, I think there's a pull towards it, to find out if the guy you're watching on video understands shit that you've never told anybody. I kind of get the sense that that's what some of those recap videos was tapping into. They understood where I was coming from and what I'd been through, and the beauty and the pain of it, because they had lived out a similar story in their own lives. And I think that that's what resonated the most and makes those videos so valuable. But in spite of the power and the emotion and the context of those old videos and going down memory lane, just like I am right now, there also comes a point where you sort of have to close that chapter of your life and start focusing on the future. So that's what that last video did. It was our last look back. It showed some of the scope of the life that I've lived and the content that I've created thus far, and it helped me to kind of put in perspective where I'm going and what I want to do next, and how epic what is coming next should be. It gave me new goals. It gave me new things to discuss in new videos. It gave me new places that I wanted to go, but also places that I want to revisit in the future. And it just helped me put everything into perspective. And I think that it was illuminating for the viewers that watched it too. So I think it was important to get that content out, but at the same point in time, that's the last time we're going to be looking back. And that's why it was that title, A Final Goodbye. It's like, we'll look back one more time, but it's time to focus on the new stuff. And then I come out here today, and sort of an epilogue idea to that, coming down this old road, thinking that there's something out here, and there wasn't. So it's kind of a confirmation for me, the same note. You can go down memory lane, but there ain't nothing back there. So just move on, focus on the new, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I didn't mean to mislead anybody with that sort of a depressing title. It just is what it is. There was nothing else to call it. It was just our last hurrah whenever it comes to old content. I'm not going to be releasing any old content YouTube shorts. I'm not going to make new videos where old content appears. It's all going to be new now. here on this channel, it's all going to be new outdoors content. We're going to get back to the woods. We're going to get out of these boring ass grasslands and back into the woods. Be doing some stuff out there. If we do have an ice storm come in and all these trees get crystallized in the ice storm, we will be going out into the ice storm. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, you know, it's sort of up to Mother Nature, but if the wood turns to glass, we gonna go see it and hear the clinkety clank. I've been in a woods that's frozen in an ice storm before, and it's like walking through a wind chime, and it's kind of dangerous. So we gonna go do that because, you know, it's kind of dangerous. Well, the old childhood road is not that impressive. Nothing out here, guys. I keep wanting to talk about this nagging feeling that I have that I'm running out of time. This been just echoed in my head for weeks now. You're running out of time, you're running out of time, you're running out of time. And I don't know it's because the premiere's coming up, or it's the move coming up, or what it is exactly. It's just, there's a clock there and I don't know what it's ticking down to. That one thought keeps echoing in my head. You're running out of time, you're running out of time. So, you know, I kind of took that and ran with it today, coming out here just to walk down this old stretch of road and just get that out of my system. I came down it. I did whatever that instinct was telling me to do. I got the lesson, at least as far as I know, out of it. I'll probably think about it, you know, a little bit later tonight when I'm sitting there in the room reading my book. It'll pop up into my head, you know, that I finally went down this 1 mile stretch of old forgotten road, and that lesson. I'm excited for what's coming. I am so excited, and I want to talk about it. I want to show you guys. I want to put out the actual official trailer. What we looked at, sort of this teaser concept idea, but the official trailer for the first episode, that's going to drop in like the first part of March, I think 2 weeks before the premiere. And oh my God, it is so much different than everything that I've done before. Everything, both channels. Now, I've been doing this since 2012, and what I got coming up starting in March, I have never done anything like it. And I didn't think I'd be able to do anything like it, but there it is. First 3 episodes are already filmed, edited, and up on the channel, ready to go. They're probably going to drop in 2-week spurts. Like every 2 weeks, there's going to be a new video instead of every week. And I'll explain a little bit more of why that is a little bit later. Again, I don't want to talk about it too much here because there's too many people that wish they were me, and they just go out there and they put their own spin on every fucking thing that I say. So we're not going to talk about Secret Life anymore unless you're over there on the Patreon page and you can glean some of the insights. I do have one item coming in the mail too. It should be here probably within a week, and I'm excited. It's the last piece of the prop set for Secret Life, and I kind of need it for the video that I'm working on now. It's coming, and I am so excited to have this one piece. It's going to be huge. It's going to be like one of the main things that you see throughout the series. It's finally coming. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy to let all of this go. We're still going to be doing outdoors content. We're still going to be filming content for here on the Huntsman channel. It's going to be kind of like at this, you know, rednecking outside or outdoors, whether it's in the grasslands or in the woods or down an old stone road or whatever. It's not so focused as it was before until we get back to the live Bushcraft build series, which is probably going to happen this summer. That's going to be a summertime thing because I got to get the new brand like really launched and get that momentum going with Secret Life before we can sort of come back here and live stream the rebuild of the cottage. But that is coming up too. And this time, like going back and rebuilding the cottage, that's going to be my time away from the new project. It's going to be, you know, back to being classic Huntsman. We're going to take some beer out there. We're going to talk about other Bushcraft channels and outdoors channels that don't go outdoors. You know, and it's going to have that nostalgia to it. So, live Bushcraft build series coming up this summer. We're going to be doing that on weekends whenever I'm not working. It's sort of my time away. I'm hoping Don can join me in the valley too for some shed hunting a little bit earlier, you know, before we go into the live Bushcraft build. I want to go back up to the valley for a shed hunt, visit HB's woods, get up there for, you know, 3-4 days, and just run the whole area out as far as the shed hunt goes. But I kind of want to wait about another month before I do that, because I know the time frame for the sheds up there, and for my area it's just a little bit early yet. So we're gonna wait for prime shed season. We're gonna go up to the valley for some hikes up there, and then we'll get the live bushcraft build up too. In the meantime, we'll be out here in my childhood stomping grounds, doing shit like we did today, nice, simple, easy, and clean, and just having a nice afternoon chat. Or we'll be going to the woods, or we'll be at the hedge camp, maybe get some new live streams in at the hedge camp. Now that we got the new camera, those live streams should come out a little bit clearer, with the audio a lot more cleared up. So maybe here before too much longer we have some campfire stories back there at the hedge camp. But yeah, I'm excited for the new stuff. I'm excited for the new stuff. I cannot wait to get this story going. So I have that conflict right now. I feel this clock ticking, saying you're running out of time, and you're not going to be here much longer, here in this area much longer. You're not going to be here. You're not going to have the opportunities to come out here and film the grasslands and from the top of the hill that's over here, or to walk down this old abandoned road. You're not going to have the opportunity. So, you know, get it in now, because when I move out of the area, I won't even be able to do something as simple as this. I'll be focused on the new story and the new life and the new content. So yeah, as anticlimactic as it was, this was worth it. Got me out of the house for a while. I'm up and moving. Got some fresh air. My hands are fucking freezing though, just from holding the camera. Can't keep them in my pocket. I keep switching the camera from one side to the other, put my hand in my pocket to get it warm. Nice quick walk. Another thing off the checklist. The expected round of snow and ice is coming in this Saturday, I think. So we're going to see how that plays out. If it comes in ice, we're going to be out in the woods. So expect a video this weekend, or maybe Monday, if the ice storm does come in and I get out, film it, edit it, get it out to you guys. Maybe even try to get a live stream in from an area where we get a nice clear picture. So, whoa! I got all the way to the end. I walk all the way down there to the end, and then I come all the way back here, thinking that there's nothing up and down this road. Man, what was I just saying? I said it over and over and over again in this video. There's nothing out here. I found something out here. It's right here. This was dumped. Well, that right there, it was dumped. That's not a, let me turn the camera around here. That's not a deer that was killed here. This is dumping grounds. They brought a carcass out here after they butchered it. You can tell because legs have been sawed off. So yeah, it's just a dump. Well, that's anticlimactic too. There's a hill we was on. That hill is just a pond dug out. They just piled it up there, make a lookout mound. So I thought I found something, but it's just a carcass dump. They just brought the deer out here and got rid of the remains after they butchered it. That's all that is. Yeah, well, it was something. Anyway, truck's right up there. Getting out here before dark settles in this time. Well, thank you guys for taking this afternoon walk with me. Next time we'll probably be back out in the woods. Hopefully it's crystallized. That'd be kind of nice. But for now, I'm gonna hop back in the truck, get warm, get my ass back home, edit this up, probably get it out to you here later tonight. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't worry, there's plenty more content to come.